Well, good morning and welcome to another episode of Faculty Features here on WUMB. I'm Jay Moberg, Music and Program Director here at the station, and this is a great opportunity when we do Faculty Features to really showcase some of the amazing people that make up the staff, not just here at the radio station, but also here on the campus that we broadcast at, the University of Massachusetts in Boston. Dr. Chaerin Kim is an associate lecturer in the Performing Arts Department here at UMass Boston, and Dr. Kim's areas of expertise include a wide range of musical styles, including playing harp, playing piano, composition, music theory, music history, and so much more. So I want to welcome to Faculty Features Dr. Chaerin Kim. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Mr. Moberg. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here.
It's an honor to have you here at WUMB as well. And I remember the first time that you came to our radio station. You ventured down here and introduced yourself to me. And you are the kind of musician, when I looked up your background, you have a staggering number of awards and recognitions over your career in music. We would like to start this interview talking about you and how music came into your life. So why don't you tell our audience here at WUMB and Faculty Features, first and foremost, where you're from and what led music into your life?
I'm a South Korean-born U.S. citizen. I'm a multi-instrumentalist proficient in 10 instruments. Some are taught by teachers, some are self-taught, but mainly I play 2 instruments, harp and piano, as a soloist with orchestras. I also play harpsichord, accordion, and drums in various concert settings, including choral and solo performances. Since 2024, I've been a voting member of the Grammy Awards, an associate of the Royal Academy of Music, and have served as a judge in over 120 sessions across 50 international competitions. As a composer, I've released 148 pieces, comprising 7 albums and 93 singles. My teaching background includes music history, music theory, and instrumental lessons at the collegiate level. I've conducted both orchestras and choirs in schools and churches, and I've been on the faculty at the University of Massachusetts, Boston since 2012, teaching both harp and piano. I also serve as a conductor in residence in Europe every summer as conducting orchestra. My academic background includes 4 degrees from 4 universities and 16 certificates from 7 universities, spanning music and other interdisciplinary fields.
That is an amazing background, Dr. Kim, and it's amazing for someone like me. When you ask me, Jay, can you play a musical instrument? There's not one that I can play at all. Yet you can play several. Some of them you have been taught on your own, that you've taught yourself, which is amazing. Others that you have been taught, and that is just an amazing biography. And it's amazing that, again, artists like yourself are here at UMass Boston. So let me ask you this, Dr. Kim. Where did music come into your life as far as, was it family that introduced music to you? Do you have other family members who play?
In fact, I don't have any family members professionally play music, but both of my parents loved music and they play several instruments as a hobby. So music was always in our house.
What kind of instruments did they play, and what sort of music was on in your house that got you introduced to music?
As I remember, my mother played piano and guitar, and she loved the singing. And my father played the drums in bands, also trumpet, other flutes, like Korean flute and other instruments.
So when did you decide, if you can remember, being a child or being a kid or maybe a young adult, when did you decide that music was going to be the path that you were going to do, not just as a hobby like your parents did, but something that you were going to seek on a more professional level?
I think it was never decision I made, but it was like from childhood. That was only thing that I was doing. From age of 6, I played the piano, then later cello, and I learned violin and other instruments. So I thought music was, I'm meant to just play all these instruments, and I was exposed with that. So it was very natural. I don't quite particularly remember certain age that I decided to do music, but I went to prep school, like Juilliard prep. In Korea, there is a prep school for middle school students who majors only music, art school, music school. So I went there. So maybe around age of 11, maybe that was the time that I will choose musical path.
And what was the first instrument that you learned?
The first instrument I learned was a piano.
And did that get taught to you from your parents, from an instructor, or did you play yourself and just figure out, how to play the piano?
So the piano was in our house before I started learning piano. And I came back from kindergarten, and my mother saw me playing songs that I learned by ears. So she thought that I probably better to have a music teacher who can teach. So that was how I started learning piano.
Okay, so you named the other instruments that you have also learned. Can you do it in sequence? You learned piano first, and do you remember what the next instrument was after that?
Around age of 9, I was introduced to cello, and also around that time violin. And then later, I saw a concert with a harpist playing, and I chose harp. That is gonna be my next instrument. So I learned the harp, and then later I learned guitar, and then viola. Then ukulele comes very interesting. So I was self-taught, and guitar also mostly I practice alone.
Wow.
And then harpsichord, that comes easy if you play the piano. Accordion also, they're connected. So I was almost self-taught. Harpsichord, I never had a teacher. Accordion, I had a teacher. It was easy to improve. And drums, I had a teacher.
Wow. So it's interesting that you say that, because that was going to be my follow-up question. As someone who does not play an instrument, meaning me, my brain doesn't understand. Does one instrument lend itself to the next? And as you just described, some of them do, some of them also don't. So can you think of two of the most extreme instruments that don't really connect with one another that you have learned to master on either your own or whether you were taught, but that really don't have a connection to themselves?
This is very, very good question because I probably, I conduct orchestra, so I know how instruments, their colors, tones, and everything. But strangely, they are all connected somehow. But personally, what I find very fascinating and attractive is actually the two instruments that I mainly perform together, piano and harp. They're both not melodic instruments. They provide harmonic, using grand staff paper.
Right.
When you see, we read both clefs, and then their full harmonies providing. Each instrument offers a different form of expression. The harp is spiritual and ethereal, while the piano is powerful and commanding. To bring both live on stage was one of the most fulfilling musical experiences of my career. And I would say piano and harp, they're somewhat similar, but somewhat very different, but somewhat very charming to bring on the same stage.
My other question revolves around, when did you start to create your own music? Because I have two children who, one is 17 and one is 13, and they both play musical instruments, and they're both quite good at both of them, more talent than I certainly ever had. But what my son is starting to learn is to make his own compositions. It's one thing to learn a piece of music that somebody else has written. When did you start to perform and conduct your own music?
When it comes with the composition, I started to compose some songs by myself when I was young, like Your Children. And I was never professionally trained, but I believe we are all composers in our hearts. There must be melodies that are floating. It's just a matter of whether we can put the music on the transcripts, or in a computer generated or sound system, or to make somebody to perform their pieces. But I also respect composers who are professionally trained, get all these degrees and trainings. But myself, when it comes with the composition, I was self-taught, and I started at young age. I used to compose and play for my friends in school. And conducting orchestras, at the age of 12 or 13, I began to conduct. During middle school, there was a choir competition, and I was asked to conduct, so I did. Later, I went on to conduct church choirs and public school orchestras. Last year, I was honored to be named conductor in residence in Estonia, where I now conduct each summer. Like all the instruments I've studied, conducting came into my life naturally. It wasn't something I planned, but rather something I was called to by the musicians around me.
So what you're saying is that even though I don't play music, somewhere deep down inside me, there is a musician who, if under the right tutelage, could emerge?
Yes, that's what I believe, because we all love music. We all love listening music or creating our own music, our own songs, So I do believe that.
So we're going to take a quick break here, and what we're going to do is we're going to actually listen to a piece of music that you, I'll let you set up the song for us, and then when we come back from this piece of music that Dr. Kim is going to introduce for us, we're going to talk more about Dr. Kim's role here at the University of Massachusetts here in Boston. So Dr. Kim, why don't you set up this song for us, tell us what is going on in this song, where it came from, and anything else you'd like to talk about this song.
So the song we're going to listen is Rendezvous, harp with orchestra. So Rendezvous has 100 versions, and I wrote orchestra versions from main version of piano version, and then I put the harp part because I'm a harpist, and I thought that was very fascinating because I'm a harpist. So I decided to put some cadenzas in the beginning and about towards the end, because harps are usually covered by orchestra easily. So let me put some cadenzas, 2 cadenzas, and I hope your listeners like it and enjoy it and feel some sort of warmth and love, because it is dedicated to my husband, and I brought some memories of our loving memory and some nostalgia. So those stories are illustrated throughout my piece.
Okay, so with that, let's listen to Rendezvous. This is Faculty Features here on WUMB. And we're back on Faculty Features here on WUMB. Our special guest this morning is Dr. Chaerin Kim here at UMass Boston. She's an associate lecturer in the Performing Arts Department here at UMass Boston, and that was Rendezvous. That was a song with a lot of, I don't want to say a lot of work, but a lot went into that song. Can you tell us more about that piece, Dr. Kim, and what your involvement in that piece was?
Yes, the lyrical version of Rendezvous delves into the complexities of love and identity. It tells the story of a man and woman who fall in love, believing they are past lovers reunited. The woman conceals her true identity and pretends to be the man's previous lover. As the relationship deepens, both realize that they are not actually past lovers, but rather reflections of their former partners. Despite attempting to separate, they ultimately embrace their connection, understanding that their love is rooted in search for something familiar. I studied briefly about 80 languages because I wanted to put lyrics into all these beautiful languages that I was curious about.
And I'm just going to interrupt you and say that was 80 languages that you learned for this song?
Yes, Korean version has two versions, female and male version, but yes, approximately 80.
80.
Yes.
That is staggering. My brain doesn't quite know how to comprehend that you learned 80 different languages to form the song. That is amazing.
Thank you, but it started from curiosity. I'm a very curious person, and if I'm curious, I start studying. So while I originally wrote the lyrics in Korean first, I started studying briefly these languages, thinking it would be nice to put lyrics to this song in many different beautiful languages. The lyrics remain the same meaning. I just had to choose words I wanted to use. Let's say for feelings of happiness, we can use words such as joyful, delighted, cheerful, satisfied, excited, amused, etc. Each word should line up with an exact note in the most natural way. It should be able to open up some tone depending on words. So I chose words after studying the languages and working with some native speakers from each country. Most of them were not musicians, so mainly I had to decide how the song flows depending on words. Then it was hard for me to find singers from each countries in here abroad. So even though I'm not a great singer, actually it's opposite, I had to sing all different languages, hoping that one day all professional singers from all those countries will enjoy my song.
So this now gets us caught up to you coming to Boston. And now, originally coming to Boston was part of going to school?
Yes, to do my doctorate.
And yet you have stayed here in Boston. You are here at the University of Massachusetts in Boston now. What led you to UMass Boston?
Well, I always loved teaching. I knew that because I was teaching assistant even at Yale and other schools. I started teaching around early 20. So I have been teaching over 27 or 20.
Wow.
I'm telling my age. But I have been always enjoying teaching. So teaching is very fulfilling, and teaching at UMass Boston particularly has been such a joy. I started at just one student because that time just one student registered.
Oh, interesting.
And before I knew it, I had 38, apparently the most individual lesson sign-ups the department had ever seen.
Wow.
So I was very thankful to all my students who enjoyed learning with me, and they were all wonderful. Also, at the time, the provost and academic chancellor even mentioned how surprised they were about that many students registered and amazing student feedback. I'm again deeply grateful for students because rather than giving, I got more. I received more from their passion and their kind heart and sharing all their music with me. So I really pour my heart into teaching, And I've been lucky to work with so many incredible students. Some have won big competitions after studying with me, gotten scholarships, or become professors themselves. So it is so rewarding to watch them grow. I always try to understand where each student is coming from and help them in a way that really connects. Teaching at UMass isn't just about giving information, it is about inspiring, and I love it.
And that's one of the amazing things about UMass Boston, Dr. Kim. I've been here for 15 years, and I had preconceived notions of what UMass Boston was as far as education, not realizing that there is really, truly an amazing performing arts department here on campus. And there is a big, beautiful new building where a lot of these classes take place. Tell us more about the performing arts department here at UMass Boston.
Absolutely. One thing I love about UMass Boston's Performing Arts Department is how welcoming and friendly everyone is. From day one, the faculty made me feel like part of family. People say coworkers don't have to be friends, but for me, every colleagues have become close friends. Even though UMass Boston is not a conservatory, students get a great mix of solid academics and musical training, which is really the best quality ever students can get. The Performing Arts Department has been able to reach a variety of students across the campus. Now that we have beautiful spaces in the University Hall, it really feels like a top tier facility for performing arts. Plus, I love seeing students hang out, doing homework, or eating ramen or boba tea together in our spaces. Those sweet memories and moments are what college memories are all about.
So as we close, Dr. Kim, I would like to remind our audience that first and foremost, if anybody has any thoughts or questions about the Performing Arts Department at UMass Boston, they can certainly find out that information on WUMB's website or UMass Boston's website. You can go to umb.edu for all the information, and Dr. Kim's accolades are all listed on the website as well, and we could be here all day talking about the different experiences you have had as a musician. It's been fascinating to talk with you. And I would like to ask you one final question as we close is, do you have any advice, or what would be your general advice for students here at UMass Boston?
Well, I deeply care about every single student I've have had and I have now and I will have in the future. As a father, Mr. Morberg, you know that when you meet your babies for the first time, it's so much naturally you feel so much love, but there's a huge responsibility you feel.
Right.
That's how I exactly feel. When I meet first day of class, I know every single human lives, all these students, I'm responsible for them to give correct knowledges and guide them to the certain direction that will only give them positive future. So I feel very responsible. And knowing that a lot of students, not only students, but we all go through challenges. So I would like to mention about that to give advice. In navigating the challenges and hardships inherent in any career, I found solace and strength in my unwavering passion for music. I firmly believe that pursuing one's dreams with dedication and perseverance is key to overcoming obstacles and achieving success. To aspiring musicians and individuals alike, I offer this simple advice. Follow your heart and pursue what brings you joy. Whether faced with setbacks or triumphs, let love for your craft be your guiding light. Embrace the journey with courage and determination, knowing that every challenge is an opportunity for growth and every hurdle is a stepping stone towards your goals.
That was beautiful and a very poignant way to end our discussion. Dr. Chaerin Kim has been our guest this morning on Faculty Features. Again, she is an associate lecturer in the Performing Arts Department here at UMass Boston. And if you would like to find out more about Dr. Kim, if you would like to find out more about the Performing Arts Department, if you would like to find out more information about the University of Massachusetts in Boston, umb.edu is your website. You can find out all the information on that. And Dr. Kim, with that, I would like to say thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much. It was great to meet you and your listeners.